Hello. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's program. Who do we have here? Hello, Favor. How are you? Good evening. Thank you for joining. Hi, Paul. Good evening. Good evening, Paul. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. As you're coming in, please start to share immediately. Hello, Evans. How are you? Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the show. Today's show is Kingdom Fruits. Hello, everyone. Hello, Julie. Hello, Prince. Good evening. Good evening and welcome. Thank you all for joining. Pastor Natalia, thank you. Good evening. Bobo, how are you? Good evening. As you're coming in, guys, please share. And also invite your friends and family. Don't just share onto your page, because when you share, you just go onto your page. But if you make the extra effort and also invite people, that would be great. More people would join us. Hello, Ojekwa Israel. Good evening. Thank you for joining. Prince, again, good evening. Or maybe this is another Prince. Zenas, good evening. Thank you for joining. Hello, Chioma. Thank you so much for joining. Good evening. Good evening. Hello, everyone. Please share. It's Kingdom Fruits. And you already know, if you don't know Kingdom Fruits, we celebrate and profile people that have been listening to individuals that have been listening to Dr. Sunday in the last year and have developed their own projects. So this is a very inspiring program. You would not regret joining us this evening. So stay tuned. Hi, Reverend Rosalind, good evening. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Favor, I can see that you've shared. Thank you very much for sharing. Dijo, good evening. Charles, welcome. Nick, good evening and welcome. So guys, share, and let's begin. Hello. Okay, good. Our Kingdom Fruit profile is here as well. Hello, Charles. Again, good evening. Good evening, everyone. Please share now. Thank you. Okay. Oluwatoyin, thank you for joining. Good evening. So guys, share and invite your friends, please, so that we can start. Hello, Topsy Gift. Good evening. Oluremi, good evening. Thank you for joining. Adewale, Adedoyin, good evening. Priska, good evening. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for sharing. I can see more people have shared. Jemmy, good evening. Oluwaseun, thank you for sharing. Good evening. Jefferson, good evening. How are you? Opesin Ola, good evening. Good evening and welcome. Okay, so today's show is, today's program is Kingdom Fruits. So we're going to start right now. For those of you who don't know what Kingdom Fruit is when we profile individuals that have been listening to Dr. Sunday and through that have developed their own their products or services. They have converted their time to make something out of themselves or purpose. They've realized their purpose and they're doing something for the kingdom. So we call this program Kingdom Fruit. Hello, Nikki, Oluwatope, good evening. Is he home? Good evening, Yinka, good evening. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much. Yes, I can see there's some people here now, so let's begin. Okay.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Sunday Adelaja here, and we're happy to have you and to see you. And thank you for coming to Kingdom Fruits. Kingdom Fruits is going to be a blessing to you today because this young man, even though he's a young man, but since the past 1 year I've known him, he seems to have shown the fruits of the kingdom, and I could see the progress and the progression of his transformation and the fruits that he has started displaying. So I'm going to introduce to you today Oluwatoyin Abidemi Somoye, I think. This is Bidemi, he likes to be called Bidemi. And Bidemi is the young man that we discovered that had just wedded a few days ago. So he's the one who just married a few days ago, and you know, he must be in his honeymoon right now. But despite that, he's, you know, just living the kingdom lifestyle. He's not allowing anything to derail him. He's not allowing anything to distract him. Even on his wedding day, I'm not talking in the morning before the wedding, I'm talking after the wedding and after the reception and things like that, that he and his wife were online watching us. They were not absent, they were there. I mean, I could imagine what happened. They probably saw the visitors away and, you know, did the rightful thing to do. Wow, that is strong. That is strong. So I'm sure you'll be interested in knowing the story of Bidemi with this kind of little introduction that I've done for you. So he writes here, my name is Bidemi, I'm 32 years old. Now, I'm going to ask you one question later on, and I think it could be connected with church. I think to a large extent, the church actually stops people's progress. I mean, the kind of churches that we have now, not the kingdom church. Because at 32, I was on my way to building the largest youth church in Europe. And he's been a Christian for a while, because he's been a Christian since he was 17, you know, over 15 years ago. So, and he's a serious kind of guy, so why not? He has to tell us the answer to that. And then his father is a professor, but I was coming from Idobila, you know, and by 33, I had built the largest church in the country, on the continent. So his father is a professor of finance, actually. That's why he's always talking about finance. And then his mom is also a pedagogue, a teacher. Grown up, raised in a Christian home with Christian values and principles, excellent values and principles. Okay, he went to a university in Nigeria, which is in my state, actually, which is near my village. This university is just near my village. And that is Olabisi Onabanjo University. So maybe he's from my state, this guy. And then now he's living in Cyprus, studying masters, doing his masters in economics at University of Gordon, American University, North Cyprus. And then after that, he wants to continue and go ahead and do his PhD in financial planning and economics. You know, I almost read that myself. I almost read industrial planning and economics. That's what I wanted to read, but, you know, but I was leaning towards journalism more. I'm happy I did journalism. Also, I presently work in a university system, so I see the problems young people face. I grew up from a well-disciplined background. My father taught us the principle of hard work and diligence, but I didn't really understand until I grew up. Those principles actually shaped my worldview. I encountered DSA 3 years ago through his book. That was 2014, through his book, Money Won't Make You Rich. I enjoyed this book so much that I bought 3 copies. A bank customer who was very influential, and he used to work in the bank at that stage, who was very influential, bought one of the copies from me. Part of the important lessons I learned from the book was the loss of money, such as 1, money does not come to you because you are a Christian. Is that supposed to be a revelation? Okay. Some people might still be thinking that money will come to them because they are good, they are Christians. Yeah. Okay, number 2 revelation this guy got is money does not come to you because you are good. Yes, that's supposed to make common sense. Number 3, money is not a miracle. It is a result of goods and services produced. So these simple thoughts, to some people, is actually a revelation. Can you believe it? The good thing was that I was working in a bank then, so I started teaching this principle to my bank customers who had financial issues. After reading Money Will Make You Rich, I decided to get church shift just to find out more about DSA, who this man was. I was also able to write my first book during that period. I was opportune to listen to his first live broadcast the first day he started. Can you believe it? He started listening to me from the very first day, which was 4th of May, 2016. I remembered I cried heavily when he taught about the topic, you cannot love God without loving people. I mean, that one I know it should be a revelation to a lot of people. Yeah? That your love for God is actually manifest. You cannot love God without loving people. I think for a lot of people that's a revelation, yes. I also remember, are you reading their notes so that you know if their voice is good enough or not? I also remember when he taught life is predictable. I quickly shared the good news with my elder brother, and he could just not believe it, that the principle that life is actually predictable. Well, I have been living so confidently ever since that teaching. Wow. I was also happy when I sent Pastor Sunday an email, and he responded. A lot of people tell me that they don't expect big men to respond to their mails. That's interesting. But it's about integrity. It's about being truthful. It's about being real. It's about being who you say you are. That's the way I look at it. If you call him, because he had called me a number of times, so he said, if you call DSA, he will call you back if he misses your call. So is that supposed to be strange as well? So these things are the things that this guy really finds to be very strange. But if you want to be like Christ, you've got to be like that. I wonder the time he has to do all that. How could he have time to do so much? Now I know better anyway, because I'm sure he's also becoming like that. If you are learning from DSA, you must also try to be Christ-like the same way. Okay, before I met DSA, I appeared bold on the outside, but if you really look at me within, you will find less confidence. DSA made me much more confident. As long as it is the truth now, I am so bold about it. These are the changes that have happened in his life. Secondly, when I met DSA, my knowledge level increased dramatically. I remember my boss in the office telling me, I am living 50 years ahead of my time. That is like DSA. I say I live 300 years ahead, but other people actually notice that he is living 50 years ahead already. Just less than a year listening to me. And if other people are witnessing to that, that is just great. Now I can study for about 8 hours a day without even feeling tired. Wow. Now, new generation of people are rising, disciples, just like Success, Victor, Yano, new generation, huh? Anu, oh yeah, Anu, sorry, Anu. Okay. So, what are the changes in my life? I now study more than ever before. Like I said, I can study for 8 hours a day without even feeling it. Secondly, I am more confident about my purpose and vision in life. So he discovered his purpose and vision and is confident about it. Now, I am also glad that I met DSA before I got married. You better be happy about that. I'm sure the lucky girl should also be happy that your husband actually got in touch with DSA. Listening to him prepared me for marriage. Yeah, those teachings, I don't know if maybe anything like that is anywhere in the world. DSA has also given me a clear path to the things to teach as a financial planner. Nice change, a transformation in him. Knowing DSA has also made me to know some great people around him. People who can also, in whom I could confide whenever something is not clear to me. DSA family, right? Mm-hmm. People who could counsel me. Part of the challenges faced is that sometimes you have to struggle with DSA's message. Another person spoke about that. What he's talking about is some of the concepts and thoughts are so extraordinary and out of the ordinary and new and fresh and totally shocking and thought-provoking that you need help sometimes, because you don't just expect something like that. And what could it mean? What could DSA mean? People think that a lot of my thoughts are coming across like that to them, that every message you get some new thought that are just shaking them to their foundation. So he says, especially if when you are hearing new thoughts, you really need time to let that thought sink. Sometimes you need up to half a day just to think and meditate on a single thought that Pastor Sunday has said. So as a result of DSA's teaching, what are the changes? One, I started an online school called Finance School with Toyin, with his name, Online Financial School. And I like the way he does it. He does just snippets, like a few minutes, I think, if that's the one I saw. This is done every Saturday, 12 p.m. to 12:30. No, this is different. I saw the one they used to do with just some snippets. But here is half an hour. Oh, okay, I would like to see that sometimes. But this is 12 p.m. At night, Cyprus time. That's like 10 p.m. 10 a.m. 10 a.m. It should be 10 p.m. Oh, okay. Oh, all right. 10 a.m. Nigerian time, right. And 10 a.m. British time too. Okay, I got it. Saturday morning. I have also started a self-development school called PFTWT Academy, which is done every Thursday, 6:30 p.m. I guess that is also Cyprus time, which will be 2 hours difference, right? 6:30 p.m. That will be 4:30 p.m. Nigerian time, and British time as well. So this only lasts for 15 minutes. It is a school for personal development. It is the first of its kind in Nigeria. Wow. All these schools can be seen on my Facebook page. If you are there, Bidemi, please go ahead and put your Facebook page on. Then the next thing he's doing is I am working on improving every project I've started. I'm presently writing 2 new books, beautiful, that will be launched this year, the 2 of them. Also, a conference will be coming up by October to teach the young ones how they could live their dreams. And also to inform them that they shouldn't allow themselves to be manipulated by the system. Next point, listening to Pastor Sunday will give as an advice to everybody, right? Listening to Pastor Sunday will give you a clear path of what you are expected to do on the surface of the earth. So you are going to find your purpose on earth. Listening to Pastor Sunday will make you move from a state of biomass to the state of personality. I celebrate the essay. That is from Bidemi Somoye. I don't know, is it Somoye? Somoye. Bidemi Somoye. Okay. I'm going to try to look for Bidemi now on Skype. Maybe meanwhile, is there anything you'd like to read out for us? Don't make that noise.
Hello guys, good evening. Welcome back. Welcoming myself back actually. Okay. Anichukwu says, just like listening to late Dr. Miles Monroe. Ifeoma says, good evening to everyone. Okay, there's a lot of pleasantries out there. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Welcome. Akinwande is smiling. Says, smiles. Toluwa, smiles. Gaining financial momentum. Very true. Says, very true. Vivian says, money is a result of hard work. Yes, absolutely. Eno Obong says, loving my DSA fam, feeling so blessed. Appreciate you all. Thank you, Eno. Doris is saying good afternoon, and to my great mentor, DSA. Okay. I don't have much comments there.
Can you tell him to call me, maybe? I'm trying to call him. I can't get through.
Abidemi, can you please call Dr. Sunday? He's trying to get through to you, but he can't get through.
Oh, so it's ringing now.
It's ringing.
Hello, I got you now. I can hear you now. Hello, Bidemi. Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Good. Congratulations.
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
Is it clear enough for you?
Okay, sir.
Is it clear enough for you? Hello? Can you hear me now? Hello? I lost you. Hello? Hello? So, while we're trying to get Bidemi, is there anybody there that, just for your information, let me share with you what we are doing with Kingdom Fruit. Kingdom Fruit is a platform that we are using to profile those people who have been listening to Dr. Sunday Adelaja for a considerable time of length of time. And we believe so much in people producing results and bringing forth fruit. It's not worth it to be listening to me, and you are not going to change. And the kind of messages that you listen to here will actually make you change. So, so that's why this particular program is to profile all those people who have been listening to me for a few months and what they have been able to do in their lives. What are the changes that have happened to them, and what are the projects they have started? What are the fruits they have been able to bring to the kingdom of God? The Bible says that if you listen to the message of the kingdom and you don't bring forth the fruit, that God is going to take it from you and give it to those who are able to bring the fruit of the kingdom. So Bidemi is proven to be one of such people that are so diligent to have produced all these fruits that were spoken about today. He has 2 live programs that he's doing on the internet. One of it is about finances, helping people to plan and manage their finances. The other thing it does is that it's teaching people about personal development. It's helping young people to grow. And he's writing books. And I know that he has other businesses and other interests that he's having apart from everything else. So, yeah, so I want you to be able to hear him out and to be able to listen to him and see how he has been able to come to where he is right now. And for you all to know that being a Christian is not just about being religious. And to be coming here to listen to Pastor Sunday, it's not just to chill out or to just have some distractions in your life. It's about actually, becoming the dream that God and heaven is having for you. It's about getting to, be able to fulfill those potentials and those resources that God has placed in you. And it's actually try to get in yourself. It's actually trying to also provide an alternative to the church. That if the church is not doing what they're supposed to be doing, if the church is not raising up champions, if the church is not raising up sons and deliverers, then we're going to show them how to do it. And this is an attempt to spur the church into jealousy and provoke the church into action. So we hope to really minister to pastors and leaders to be able to learn from us how we are able to raise giants and champions without even necessarily knowing them. I mean, I've never met Abidemi before, and most of the people who have been profiled here, I've never met them before. But even without ever meeting them and without controlling them and pushing them around or trying to dominate them or own them, without all that, we still have results with them. When they have results, people are still becoming who God wants them to become. That's exactly what the church is supposed to be doing. And because the church is not active in doing this, that's why we started this platform, to be profiling people and tell their stories of how in the shortest time these people have been able to do more than they've ever done since they became a Christian. Or maybe they have been able to do more than they've ever done in all their lives as human beings. So those are the stories we'll be hearing. If this is your first time or you don't know the Kingdom Fruits testimonies, please go there. Go to YouTube. My YouTube channel is Sunday Adelaja Official. And if you go to the front page, you'll see all the series that I've done, all my teachings. And also you will see one of the playlists there is Kingdom Fruits, it's called. You'll be able to look into it and see the stories, unbelievable stories of what has happened to people since they started listening. Okay, you are not getting to?
No.
Maybe he could try to call me. Maybe he could try to call.
I'll ask for Abidemi. If you've got WhatsApp, you can send that number to me, and we call you through WhatsApp.
So could that be the internet?
Yes, it'll be the internet, but it'll be better.
Okay. Maybe you have some more comments there now. Why you
Not
ask?
many comments.
Okay.
There's people coming in, saying hello.
Okay. They need to listen to the story of Abidemi for them to.
Yeah. Somebody said one thing. Kingdom Fruits.
Yeah. So we will listen to the stories of Abidemi, and then they will comment because he's doing a great job. He's mentoring people through the internet, and then he has a clothing line where he's doing just amazing designs. But he didn't mention it today. But it's actually having a clothing design, and where he's doing a great job as well. And like I told you, he just married, and he's a student finishing his master's, and he's going to go into PhD from there. but he's really having very, very valuable product on the internet. He's, you know, he's always doing this, and his stuff are always high quality. This guy's stuff are always high quality. He's very, you know, his clothes, I've seen the pictures, and the ideas behind them are just fabulous. And then his TV programs, he comes up with some snippets, very, very strong, very, very strong. I mean, when I was having my birthday, he did some banners. Those are some of the best banners that have been done. And, you know, so he's a man of excellence. And I wrote a book, I have a book on excellence. I've not published it yet, but, you know, Abidemi is practicing it. And with this kind of excellence, he is going to go far. He's going to go very far, very far. I think the name of the wife is called Tolu or Poju, and beautiful wife. And I've not seen the picture, I don't think so. Maybe I saw that. But still, I know she has a beautiful, she's a bride. Okay. So we are trying to get this. We are trying to get you, Abidemi. I hope you are somewhere there, because for some reasons, is that the way the internet is in Cyprus?
No, it's today.
Is that Cyprus? Because we are okay. People are seeing us. If people are watching us on Facebook, it means we are okay with the internet. It's not a problem from our side. If it had been from our side, you wouldn't have been hearing me by now. So it's true be from his side. And yeah, so kingdom fruits. So keep on talking about kingdom fruits. If any one of you could actually participate, any one of you could be a partaker in this program. If you will just send us what you have been doing, tell us the fruits you've been producing and bringing, and how your life has changed, and what are the changes that are happening in your life since you started listening. And yeah, what are the things that have happened to you? And what have you been doing? How have you been practicing and putting into use the teachings that Pastor Sunday have been giving here? And because the whole idea of the church is to get rid of you from sitting down. You know, he said, "Go ye and make disciples of all nations." So God's passion is to get rid of you from sitting in the church or sitting in the pews. The Bible says you must go. The Bible didn't say you must sit, and it didn't say you sit for 3 months and go later on. No. He said, "Go ye and make disciples." So God believes in us. And so if you are listening to me here, I also believe in you, and I want to challenge you to be free to go and practice everything that you are being taught in this place. And those are the things that make God's heart happy, and what makes God really proud, because you are vindicating Him through your service, through your obedience. So think about starting your own platform. Think about starting your own platform. Think about, creating a platform from where you could speak. If you cannot do video, do writing. If you cannot do writing, do something else. But just make sure that, you are bringing for the fruit. Like we spoke yesterday, Jesus said that He will not be quiet. He will speak out, shout out. And that's exactly what He's encouraging us to do. Especially when it comes to the truth. We need to shout out. We need to shout out. Pretty city to go computer. I'm going to try to change my iPad, maybe. Well, it shouldn't be the problem with my iPad, because
your iPad. I'm also trying Messenger call on Facebook, and it's not going through. I've asked for his number. Abidemi, can you send your phone number so that we can? Hello, Abidemi, can you send your phone number so that we can call you? We can call you via WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Please do that immediately so that we can call you via WhatsApp.
You want to read something?
Hello, okay, let me read some of the notes. Here. That's my WhatsApp contact, Akiwande. Okay, where is it? I can't see it, Akiwande. Okay. All right. Can you put it on yours? Save it on yours.
And I seem to be getting him now on Skype too.
You see which one you pick up first.
Yeah, it's back online.
Okay, let me read some of the comments.
And it's ringing on Skype, it's not picking too.
Can't see many comments. Someone is saying awesome testimony. That's from Topsy Gift. Nick is saying Kingdom Fruits is breaking my traditions. I now can see. Okay. Okay. All right. It's ringing now. It's just not answering.
Same with Skype.
Okay, it's on Skype again.
It was ringing on Skype too. It was not answering. It's ringing right now on Skype. I'm ringing right now on Skype for me.
It might be ringing with us. Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, Mayo.
Yes.
Yeah, I can hear you. Good evening.
Good evening. Hold on.
Good evening.
Hold on.
Okay.
What's the problem with your country there? Is that internet? Is that the way internet works in your country? Huh?
Hear me?
We hardly hear you. Is it Skype?
Yes, this is Sky. Good evening.
Please put off your. Have you put off your Facebook already?
Hello.
Did you already put off your Facebook? You have to put off the Facebook volume.
Oh, totally.
Hello.
Okay, put on the Facebook. Yes, I have.
Put off the Facebook. And if you hear me now, I'm going to be asking you. It's like you are out.
Can you hear me now?
Are you outside or something?
I've done that already.
Okay. Are you outside or inside?
No, I'm in the room.
I'm sure you have
inside.
You have a problem. You have one of your devices open. It's that you didn't put off your Facebook. I'm picking it here.
Put up that. Okay. Is it okay now?
It's okay now, but you are supposed to put it off when I said it the first time.
Okay, sir. So sorry, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Okay, Maiwa, you have to be giving them instruction that whenever we call, they must get off the Facebook. And also, they must, because that is a distraction. That might be one of the reasons we're having the problem. Okay, now the second instruction is, once I begin to ask you questions, just talk. Keep on talking until I ask you the next question. If I don't stop, you don't stop.
Just start it again.
Can you hear me? Hello? I hear you very well. I even hear how you sigh just now. Hello? But do you have his what do you call it? Phone number? Call him on WhatsApp and see what happens. So you want to be reading the notes first, the comments? Why do you remove these things? Why you just experimentizing every day?
Hello. Hi guys. Got more comments. Hello. Okay, Nick is saying that let him keep talking so we can hear him. We can hear him. Hello, Toyin. Abidemi.
Hello, Maya.
Okay.
Hello, I think we are going to use this device. Is the speaker on now?
Now you turn on.
It's better.
It's better. Okay, good. What happened? Is that the way internet works in Cyprus?
They have one of the problems is that they have like different makers of bands, like internet bands. So, but I think it's the one that we use in our apartment that is actually like that.
Okay,
You know what? We have good internet around here, generally around here.
Okay, so because you are not in Africa, I suppose, so.
Yes, I am not.
Okay, how come, one of the questions that I was asking is, no, you have to put off, are you sure you put off every in Facebook in your place there now?
Yes, I have.
Okay, now yes, I believe you now. Okay, so what you have to do is, I said you are 32.
Yes, sir.
And I was using you in contrast to myself, that what were you doing before you met DSA? You met me last year, it means you were 31. What were you doing? When I was 31, 32, I was already building the largest church in Europe. So what happened? I mean, you came from a good home, from a Christian home, you know, your dad a professor, you have the right principles. What happened that you are just attaining your purpose now?
Okay. Thank you so much. Good evening, DSA family and everybody. I think one of the things that happened was that some of the principles that I know now, some of them were not explicitly taught when we were growing up.
Okay.
Even though my parents were very learned and they were very disciplined, yet hardly will someone sit you down and ask you what you want to do for the rest of your life. What is the problem you want to solve on the face of the earth? So those questions were not there. The norm is just okay, when you get to school, go to school, have your bachelor's. When you're done with your bachelor's, go for your master's. When you're done with your master's, go for your PhD. So the concrete question of what is it you want to do with your life was not there. So
Hello?
This Wi-Fi.
Hello, I hear you now.
Yeah, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, you can talk now.
Okay, so I said, so nobody really sat us down to ask us, what is it you want to do with your life? Or what's your purpose? What's your passion? What is it you want to solve? So those things were not there. The norm back home, which I know most children are also going through, is go for your bachelor's. When you're done from your bachelor's, go for your master's. When you're done from your master's, go for your PhD. So you can actually find a PhD student who is having good grades, but yet does not know its purpose of existence. We have so many of them around.
Are you
When they talk,
are you serious?
are you serious? Yes, yes. So many of them around. Even with their grades, they don't know what they want to do. So when you ask them, what is it you want to do with your life? That's the point they start thinking of who they really are or what they want to become. I use this as an example. I'm presently reading the book, Who Am I Here? And my colleague who is a Muslim saw it in the office and is quite older than I am, maybe 4 years ahead of me. But even at that age, it does not really have a concrete idea of this is what I want to do. And it was so much more interested in the book just because nobody has ever asked him the question, what is it you want to solve, or what's the problem you want to solve on the face of the earth? So I think that's where the problem came from. Nobody really sat down to find out what your...
Is that the way WhatsApp works? Is that the way WhatsApp works?
The internet is poor. It is in Nigeria normally.
He's in Europe, but he says the provider he uses maybe. Hello?
It's gone now.
Oh no. That's so bad. You have to call him again.
Yeah.
Okay, let her call while you are reading something. Give it to her.
It's gone. Where it go? Hello, Toyin.
Sorry for the network. I'm here.
Is
Sorry.
Okay.
Okay, you have to be agreeing with them about network. They have to do everything before we talk to them next time. Yes, but you are really opening my eyes. So, and this is going to be the first wisdom that I will give to you today.
Okay, sir.
I think you should have a program and create a platform for parents
Okay, sir.
on how to instruct and guide their kids growing up in primary, secondary, and upward.
Okay, sir.
And I think you should also think about, definitely creating a platform to help young people discover their passion, their calling, and so that they don't get to be 30 before they begin to find out what they're going to do. My kids are like, from 10, 11, they already know who they want to become.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But this is not the only thing, though. But thank you for letting me know. But also, if you listen to the way I spoke and to the teachings I did, is it okay? If you've listened to the teachings I did on parenting, I think that is also the problem, really. Because parenting is not just about sitting you down when you're already grown up to be asking you questions. Parenting is about, first of all, systematically creating in the child the value systems and the goals that you want to be, the personality that you want to form in the kid. If you've listened, I'm sure you listen to me, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you have to sit down with your with your wife, and go through that series again, both for yourselves and for the future.
Okay, sir.
Okay, now tell me, if you had lived 31 years before you met me, what made you to have this kind of results in just the last 1 year? What is the difference? Can you make a kind of analytical comparison or comparative analysis of your life as a Christian before now and after the SA platform?
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Before I started listening to you, like I wrote, I read your book, Money Won't Make You Rich. That's when I first came. That's when I first came across DSA. So when I was traveling, that was one of the books I took with me because it was strange because I've not really read Laws of Money. We are used to pray, we are used to sowing seeds or so many forms of doctrines. That's what we've been used to. So seeing something different actually spurred my interest. So when I started listening to you, not that only was I listening to you, I was listening to you on a regular basis. It was so regular that my sister sometimes calls me DSA's son or DSA's something if she wants to make jest of me. But I was so regular with it because it was a paradigm shift for me. It was a change of thinking. It was a total way of life for me. So because I was doing it consistently, ideas started coming up. I started writing out the ideas that dropped into my mind. Ideas started coming up. So as ideas are coming up, I remember that you thought about conversion, you thought about products. What is it that you are doing with your day? Just like if you are going to church on Sunday, when you are done from church, what is the product? What is it you are bringing out from the fact that you are going to church? So those teachings started sinking into me. I started thinking, okay, if I'm listening to DSA, if I'm listening to his teachings, what is it I want to bring out of his teachings? So that was brought into teaching online finance school and so many little projects that I actually laid my hands on. So based on listening to your teachings and knowing that listening is not enough, but the doing is also very important, that's one of the things that spurred the changes in my life. But it was due to consistently listening to you that actually, tweaked some changes in me that I had to do something new for my life.
So you are listening to my live broadcast like twice a day?
In fact, what I do is sometimes I listen because I'm at work. I work, so at work I can use headphones at work because of the kind of job I do. So I work like 8 8 hours. So out of the 8 hours, sometimes I spend the whole 4-5 hours just listening. So when I listen, sometimes after listening, I discuss with my boss, just to share some of the things I've learned, just because she's not a Christian, but just to let her know something that I'm sure that's one of the reasons why she said, I'm living 50 years above my time. So I was consistently, I had to buy new books just to make jottings, just to, write down, life is predictable, quotes, messages on money, messages on success, on so many things. So I was consistently doing it every day. That became part of me. So that's one of the things that spurred the changes of my new life, actually.
So, but how come you have been able to do all this much in 1 year, and whereas you had lived 30 years before then?
I'm sure it's, like I said, it's part of the teachings we are exposed to. And that's one of the things God is presently speaking to me about. So many young ones back home are confused. They go to church, but they go to church in fear. They go to church out of like someone is forcing them. Some of them can be in church yet they don't know what they've been called to do. So someone can live 40-50 years on the face of the earth and can still be confused and not know the truth because of the environment he has been exposed to, because of the teachings that person has been exposed to. Okay, I can imagine if I'm in a particular city and I have 10 churches in the city and 9 churches are actually talking about the same thing. Definitely that person's thinking will be affected. He will always think that that is the truth. But one of the good things was, I thank God I actually moved away from Africa. That's why I was able to listen to you more, because internet would have been an issue. So when I moved away from Africa, I knew God opened my eyes to some things just to let me know that the way we think, some of the things we think is right back home, they are actually wrong. But if you remain in that same environment and someone corrects you, you will think that person is wrong. Why? Because of the environment you have been exposed to. And that's what you see everybody do. So because I moved away from Africa and I moved to a new place where my boss could be a Muslim, all of them high ranks are Muslims, and yet God is really blessing them, then that was time for me to question some ideas, some philosophies I've always known. So that's one of the things that really helps me to embrace your teachings. That if really I'm in a new place and they don't even pray at all, they don't even know God yet, they are the one bossing over me, they are the one ruling over me, but something must be wrong with what I know. So those are one of the things that made me to embrace your teachings so much and made me to start practicing them.
Okay, but so you want to tell me that the fact that young men are studying well in Nigerian universities, Nigerian schools, secondary school, primary school, university, they might still not know these things because you are a good student, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's true that they don't know, because I did a short sample,
Hello? I'm hearing you. Hello? Hello?
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Can you hear me, sir?
Very well. I'm saying that, so Nigerian kids could go to the university or could go to secondary school and even be the best student in the school. Like your father was a professor. I'm sure you studied well and you are not playing around. You are a serious student. You are focused. But that still, in the Nigerian environment, is not enough to give you basis for success or what?
Yeah, definitely. I think one of the problems is that the educational system generally, I think, I won't say all over the world because I don't know what is obtainable in some countries, but the subject or the courses they teach might not be relevant to a child's success. When I got to Cyprus, I started questioning some of the things my professors they were teaching me, because for you to tell me to go and study some things that will be ready. But for example, you don't have a course called purpose. You don't have a course called passion. You don't have a course called your dreams. Those things that can make, all those things that can make a child stand very strong. Those things are actually removed from the educational system. So by the time they are done, they become more confused than ever. Some of them go back home not even knowing what to do. So it's a big problem. It's a big issue in the educational system.
Okay, number three thing that I feel God is challenging you to do,
okay, sir,
is that make sure, that you believe God to be able to influence and create an alternative educational system for the people of Nigeria and the world and Africa as well.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Believe God for that. Let's trust God for that. Because in your own case, your father is a professor of finance.
Yeah.
And then you went to study, you already studied finance in university in Nigeria. You're already a graduate.
Yes, sir.
Before you came across my book and my teachings. But when you came across my teaching, you are telling me that you never had this thing before. So what did they teach you in university? And what was your dad teaching in university as a professor?
Okay, I think most of the things they teach in classes, I studied, my first degree was in economics. So what they teach you is the basics. One of the problems is teaching a student just to have good grades is a very big issue.
Okay.
Yes, that student ends up having good grades, and at the same time, the core ingredients of what will make him a personality is missing. So what is being taught in schools? Okay, for example, I'm doing my master's in economics. One of the things that is being taught is how to draw graphs, how to just normal textbooks, the norm, things that have been going on. But I began to question things.
Even in Europe, those are the things you have been taught?
Yeah, normally, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So it means that the school system is only operating to teach you to become a clerk.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Not to control resources, not to become a creator of resources and creator of wealth.
Yes, sir.
It means that the things that you are teaching is even more important than what the university you are going to is teaching the two students.
Definitely, sir. Definitely. Then when I started listening to you, I started, instead of focusing on the classrooms, I remember one of the teachings that you did about nature, about flowers. My education was outside the classrooms. I started looking at, because it's so beautiful. They have a lot of mountains, they have a lot of trees, they have a lot. So I started drawing ideas from my external environment. So after they finished teaching in the class, where my own education lies is the culture, how they think, their environment. So it's a really big issue. What they teach in classrooms, it's a really big issue.
Do you think we could challenge and restructure this in Nigeria or influence anyhow our country, our continent?
Yes, sir.
Do you think we, all of us, could actually challenge and contribute to building a new society and giving future and destiny to the young people?
Yes, we can. And I think part of the few things they need to start doing, or we need to start doing, is in every curriculum, I was telling my colleagues or my friends, I was telling them that there should be a core course that the child must pass called purpose. It's much more important than the economics, so it's much more important than every other subject that child is doing. Because the reason why it's coming to earth, first of all, is an assignment. So if he doesn't know that assignment, it will definitely malfunction. So there are some courses that have not been seen all around the world.
Wow.
Hello?
So what began to happen to you when you first of all came across Dr. Sunday's teachings? What was just going through your life? What were you weeping? Were you laughing? Were you jumping? What was happening to you?
I was angry. I was very angry. I was angry within. You know, when the truth, once you know the truth, you becomes more confident. So I was so angry, so that I was committed to learning. I was committed to knowing more about the truth. So one of the things that spurred me to the way I think, or some of the things I want to do in the nearest future now is, I was angry about knowing the truth. You know, not knowing these things before got me angry. So after spending so much years, now becoming 32 years, and those things I should have known 18 when I was 19 or 20, I didn't know them. 21, 22, I didn't know them. It made me more angry. It made me very, very angry.
Wow. Can you imagine how many millions of Nigerian people, what their state will be, who don't even have an idea, they don't even have access to these things?
Lots of them are like that.
How did you bring your fiancé on board?
Hello?
How did you bring your fiancé? How did you bring your future wife on board when you know, for her to be on board? How did you bring your fiancé on board, your future wife, after you encountered DSA? Yeah, go ahead.
Hello, everyone. Pastor Uche says, we can. I think that's an answer to, do you think we can do this in Nigeria? And beyond four walls, what's next? That's Paul saying that. Paul again saying very correct. Kazim is saying application is missing. Kazim is also saying it is one thing to be educated knowledge. It is another thing to apply your knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. Yeah, sure. Then we have ideas keep coming from Paul saying that. Kazim again says, particularly when we start applying the principle of God. I think.
Yes, I was asking you, how did you bring your wife on board, your future wife, after you encountered the essay?
That was, okay, part of the things is, sometimes when I got to Cyprus, she was still back home. When I listened to your messages, I shared with her. You know, so I started sharing some of the principles I learned from you with her. So that's one of the things that made me to easily bring her on board.
No, I mean, was she able to come on board? Was it easy for her?
I think it's gradually. I think it's actually gradually. I think it's gradually.
I also noticed a problem with you that initially when you started listening to me, you used to still quote some pastors, some ministers, some Nigerian ministers, and used to say Happy New Month or something like that. Some of those, you know, funny things that Africans used to do.
Yes, I'm sure. Yes, sir. I think that's part of what we learned back home.
Where did you get those things from?
It's just, I think it's just it's just, I don't want to call it culture, but it's part of the activities back home. I must say that. So, but after knowing some things, knowing what I know now, some things don't actually move me. There are some things I don't bother to stay any longer because I already know it doesn't really add. There's no much value in it. So, I think that's just it. But it's part of what we learn from home. Like
was it a little bit challenging for you that a lot of the things you are used to back in Nigeria, that DSA is just pulling everything down. Were you really being challenged?
Sometimes, like I wrote, that there are some messages you actually preach that because it's a new line of thought, it's actually challenging. So sometimes I spend a whole day or 2 days trying to meditate on what you've taught. So sometimes it takes a process, and I think it's normal for everyone who wants to embrace a new line of thought. So sometimes it's challenging, but it got to a stage. I already know what to expect from you. Actually, I already have a clear.
Hello, you already had a clear what?
Hello, already have a clear what? I said I already have a clear picture. I already have a clear picture when you teach. I already have an idea of sometimes what you can say.
Yeah, because now I see that the only people you are quoting is mainly Dr. Sunday Adelaja and Dr. Miles Monroe. Where were all those old men of God that you used to quote those days? What happened to them?
I don't know. Maybe I just don't. I still honor them, but there are some things I don't resonate with any longer, actually. Because one thing I've ever learned is we must question. Once we begin to question what we do ourselves, I think that's the beginning of growth. That's the beginning of life, living life. So
Deliverance came.
I think I began to ask myself questions. Deliverance came. Full deliverance, sir.
Tell us, oh my God, what, can you still hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Tell us, what are the main things you think must change in the doctrines that are being preached in Nigerian churches? What are for us to have a new country, what are the messages that must change from our pulpits? Or you never thought about this?
I think what I do every day, I still talk about it every day with my group of friends and my wife also. I think one of the things that must change is Sundays. People can go to church on Sundays, but things they should discuss are things that are things that are much more relevant, things that can change the world, things that brings value to people. So that's one thing I noticed, that we all go to church on Sunday, we're all quick to go to church, and the whole day passes by and people are not accountable for that whole day. It's a serious problem. It's a real serious problem. So
okay, for example, let me tell you a story. I spoke with a lady today. She's one of those people editing my book. She was living in England before she left from Nigeria. She was a Christian, and the father is a pastor, and so she now wants to come and do what do you call that when you finish law school? Law in England, and you want to come to Nigeria. Is it housemanship or law school? Law school. Yes. So she came back to Nigeria to do law school, and she wanted to do it in a particular university. I will not mention the name of the university. And this lady was asking her what to give a bribe. And she said, no, but I've already paid the official amount of money. Why do you need bribe from me? And then she just neglected her and just started treating her very badly. And then afterwards, she was asking, after they finished, she was asking her, do you go to church? So she said, no, I don't go to church. She said, how can you be, are you not a Christian? She said, I'm a Christian. Why don't you go to church? She said, well, I stopped going to church after I started listening to some messages from maybe DSA and something like that. And I feel it's a waste of time. So this woman said, okay, come and see me in my house. And then she started brainwashing this girl so that this girl will become a member of her church. And this girl is saying, you are just asking me for a bribe. And now you are telling me to become a member of your church. You are just living opposite of what Jesus preached, opposite the word of God, and you are telling me to be coming to church. And this is a registrar. This is the registrar of that school, of a university. And now, listen. And so what she told me, this guy told me that. So I said, but I didn't tell you people not to go to church. Why do you stop going to church? She said, Pastor, in Nigeria, or even in the UK, she was not going to church. She said, because I discovered that if I stay at home and plan my day and listen to DSA 5, 6, 7 hours, I am able to gain so much more. On that Sunday, I'm able to do what I didn't do all my Christian life of 20 years a Christian. No, how many? 15 years a Christian. I'm able to do more in every Sunday that I stay at home than 15 years of Christianity and if ever going to church. She said, I'm growing more. I have more results. I have more purpose. I know more than all. And father is a Christian, and not a pastor, and everybody is a Christian, and nobody is able to live right. But she said, just by listening, I'm able to produce more fruit. I'm seeing the result of my life. But these people just want me to go to church by all means.
Yes, sir.
What do you say to that?
Okay, I think I should just have to you. There was a particular Sunday I purposely did not go to church, and I can still remember what I learned that Sunday. I listened to your message on 20 reasons why you must write a book when you were launching a book for one of the doctors in Ukraine, and that has been one of the best days of my life. For me, as I stand, I can still remember that message. It simply means that we must question ourselves. What do we really do? It's good to go to church, fine. If people are discussing the things they need to discuss, but not to waste time or to waste people's time. So sometimes people can go to church, but let them know that there's a top.
This girl, so I was telling this girl, I was asking her, tell me what you see in church that makes it repulsive for you to be going. She said, first of all, when I go to church in Nigeria, they dance around, everybody just enjoying themselves. I said, I'm standing there and I'm thinking, this doesn't have anything to do with God now. People are just gyrating. And I want God. I want God. I would rather be alone to seek God, to discover God, to grow in God, than just gyrating in church like this. And everybody is just displaying the flesh and carnality. So that's one thing that she said, she wants to make her vomit. Number two, pastors are just promising you miracles from... She said, I had been being promised those miracles all my life. And I never get anything until I began to work hard. So she said, what I do now every Sunday is that I take Pastor Sunday's series, DSA series. She said she's working on the series of hard work and time conversion. She said, I want to make it part of my life because I don't just want to hear a message. I want to inculcate it. I want to, the word to become flesh. And I see that it's working out for me. I am becoming a new human being. I am liking myself more. I am seeing my vision more. And now she said, I'm writing a book for myself. Before then, I couldn't even, she said she was the best student in her university when she was in Nigeria. She said, but when she got to a university in England, she said it was like she didn't know anything. She had to work hard, very hard. And thank God that she started listening to DSA, because before she was believing God, she was always praying. Instead of her to work hard. What do you say to that?
It's part of the problems we actually face. And I'm sincerely hoping that I'll be part of the people that will change that culture in my generations or generations to come. So people can go to church, but we must discuss the things that are things of value. You know, we must discuss the kingdom when we go to church on Sundays, when we meet or when we gather, when we fellowship. So people can go, but what they discuss more must be things of value and things of kingdom. So I will be part even talking to people one-on-one to ask them questions. What do you do? What is it when you go to church? What is it? What is part? What do you learn? So I will be part of the people that will mark on Sundays. I will change that paradigm of people. They can go to church, but they must discuss the kingdom. They must discuss way forward of problems around, of solutions and things.
So you have to write that down as one of the strategies that God will have you do, which is to re-educate the Nigerian Christian what church is supposed to be about and what we are supposed to be doing in church.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Tell me, how has the what you I think you have a clothing line or something.
Yes, I do.
Because I saw some of the designs you were advertising on Facebook. They look gorgeous. In fact, I was ready to buy. I was just thinking, how will I get them from Cyprus, from here? I was ready to buy some of your designs. Tell me about that.
I started.
Hello?
When I was in my university days. Hello, sir?
Yes, go ahead.
So I started the clothing line when I was in university. So aside the funds I get from my dad, that's what I used to feed myself all through school. And when I finished school, I also, before I started working in the bank, that was what I used to also feed myself all through and survive through. When I got to the bank, I was still doing it. Yeah, in Cyprus, actually, I'm still doing it. So it's something that I'm naturally good at. I'm naturally good at art, sketching, writing, designing T-shirts. But I can I sometimes wake up with designs in my mind. So it's something I love doing. And at the end, soon, I will have like a store where people can actually buy designs that can actually change people's orientation on the face of the earth. So it's something that I know I'm naturally good at, something I developed, and something I still do up till date.
I would really like you to send me some of your designs because I like what I saw. And then the banners you did to congratulate me for my 50th birthday. In fact, I have to put them in my magazine.
Wow.
The designs are so excellent. They are some of the top notch in the world. You could actually enter into competitions and actually, you are going to be celebrated. You are going to win a lot of competitions. I will encourage you to consider entering into design competitions.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Good job. Good job. Now, tell me something. How do you think the teachings on family, relationship with women, men and women, responsibility of a man, how has it helped you in forming your new family that you are starting now?
That's one of the about relationship, then fathers, mothers, kids who are growing up. Because one of the things we're used to back home is sometimes we'll find our mom doing so much. It's not that the man is not working, but the woman is overburdened. But I still listen to one of your messages to say today that you said one of the things you decided that you would do before leaving home is to make your wife happy. You don't care about anything, but she must be happy before you leave home. That is a shift for some men. It might not be for all, but that alone can help someone have a sound marriage. That alone can help someone to have a successful marriage. Also, I remember one of the days where you talked about how actually you're expected to, or a man that is ready to get married, how the man is expected to treat his wife, or his fiancé, or his woman to be. I remember that day vividly, that after teaching, and I was having a little bit of differences with my wife then, my wife right now. What I did was, and I was in Cyprus and she was back home, I just called someone, I organized someone to get some gifts, some cake. She didn't expect it. So I told them to go and drop it for her at home. So part of the teachings are, me personally, are spurring me into loving my woman the more. So some things that I would have done, because I know the truth and I'm being exposed to the right thing to do, it's easier to walk through. So, for example, when I was getting married, some people were scared. We need to pray for you. We need to. So one of the things I told them was, okay, so my sister was trying to tell me, okay, you need to go for marriage counseling, which is good. I'm not saying it's not good. But because some of the deepest messages you've taught. Every other marriage counseling I had was just a top-up. But my mind was prepared. My mind was stable. My mind was solidified. So it was much more easy for me when people were scared for me. I wasn't scared for myself. Why? Because my inside was already developed. So everything I had, every other counseling I had, was to add to what I already know. So your teachings, if families can actually imbibe those teachings, it's going to actually, one, it's going to solve divorce problems. Two, it's going to help parents raise their kids properly. Three, it's also going to help parents understand their kids properly. Four, it's going to actually make an economy stable, because if a family is stable, the economy will be stable. So those teachings helps anybody who is married to know what to do, or anybody going into marriage. It's just like marriage counseling. So it made me more stable. It made me very stable before getting married.
Now, Bidemi, your schoolmates and your friends in the university, do they see a difference in you that came from Nigeria and you the last 1 year?
Yes, they actually do. One of the things I do they did, before I got married, they did like bachelor's Eve for me. And one of the things I usually do was, because I already know that we must party in the kingdom way. That's the principle. So even if I'm going to do anything, I must have a reason and value why I'm doing what I do. So what I did was, I decided to ask them questions. Okay, tell me one thing you like about me, and one thing you want me to improve on. So those responses I got, it's not like a confirmation that I am on a very, very right path. More like you are focused, you know what to do, you are all out, nobody can tame you. And so those responses, it's a feedback from them. They have seen, which makes me know that they've actually seen a lot of changes in me.
So you are now doing your party kingdom way.
It's kingdom way. It's a full kingdom way, sir.
So these teachings that you are doing on personal development, what is your goal and purpose about it? And tell us when it is in British time and Nigerian time.
Okay. Majorly, the personal development is for young people, at least within the age of, I'm sure, 18 to 30. Because during that age, a child could be totally confused, because that's the time they go to school and they teach them all they need to teach them. So I already know that the personal development curriculum is missing in the universities naturally. So I decided to do that on my own. I started to pick that up and to teach them. So my goal is to have a school where I teach people so they can decide to go to their schools and have their good grades, but I will be the one teaching them what will make them successful in life. I will be like the base. I will be like the foundation. So after knowing all they need to know, economics, finance, and all that, when they come to real life, sometimes when life hits you, graph will not solve the situation, or some things will not be able to solve the situation. What will be able to solve it are the truth that you already know. So I intend having in school for ages between 18 and 30, people who are already in school within that age bracket. And the time is on Thursday, 6:30 Cyprus time, which is also 4:30 Nigerian time and 4:30 British time. It's just 15 minutes, 6:30 to 6:45. That's 4:30 to 4:45 Nigerian and British time.
What about the finance? That's on your Facebook page, right?
My Facebook page, sir.
Okay, you have to give a link to your Facebook page before we finish today. And also, what about the finances? Tell us about the teaching on finances. What are your purposes and what inspired you to do it? And, tell us about that also.
Okay. When I started reading your book, that's when I've been having interest on finances for a while. So when I read your book, it gave me more clear directions. Okay, this is what you need to do. These are the laws of money. So the online finance school is just to let people know that there are laws of money. There are things you should know, that if you don't know them, there is no how. You will suffer. There are some things, once you don't know the truth, you is ignorance. So I decided to take it upon myself to actually teach people the loss of money, let them know, so I picked some of your teachings and I broke them down. I remember that I taught about poverty mindset and the abundance mindset, something that they've not really heard about. They just know surface. But so those teachings are what I tell people. Part of them teach people. I pick some teachings from you, poverty mindset and abundance, my loss of money. So I broke them down into series. Even without online Facebook, I still teach people personally. And everybody around my environment knows me for it. Even everybody on Facebook that I've not really met. Sometimes they ask me questions, okay, how do I need to do this? How do I need to do this? And it's always on Saturday, 12 p.m. Cyprus time, which is also 10 a.m. Nigerian time and 10 a.m. British time.
Is your wife there? Is she? I will not don't force her to talk, but if she feels like she wants to say anything, she can do it, just to give her the freedom and the liberty. But if she doesn't feel like it, you shouldn't make a newly wedded wife uncomfortable, okay? I say you shouldn't make your wife uncomfortable, but if she feels like she wants to share anything, she should be free to do it, but she doesn't have to do it. Don't ever make a woman uncomfortable, especially a newly wedded wife.
Yes, I know. She's actually rested.
Okay. So now what I wanted to say, what would you like to say to people who have not come across DSA, either in Nigeria or anywhere in the world?
I think this is just, I think people would, by mistake, listen to your message the first time, end up, keep on listening to it. That's what I've got to find out. So, I think if they want to make things best for their environment, for their country, for their nation, for themselves, for their friends and family, they need to spend time listening. Not because it's just a doctrine. Because the truth will always be the truth, and the truth will always set you free, whether the person likes it or not. So it's a message for the old world to learn. There are new things people are not used to. The messages are not what I've heard while I was growing up. If it was, then I would have been used to it. So I just think people need to take time, get their book, get their pen, jot down the most important points, what will resonate to their lives and what will make their economy better. It will be better for them and it will be better for the economy. That's what I think, sir.
What about this Muslim guy that wanted to read my book? Will you oblige him?
Yes. I'm actually, when I'm done, it's just that I would have given it to him, but I'm still using it. It's like my handbook. It's just to refresh myself. As soon as I want to do something, refresh myself on it, I take it to work every morning. But I'm going to give it to him. And I'm told I have some young guys too that usually work with me once in a while. I'm actually going to give it to each of them to actually read it. Because I know there are some things they don't know because of what they've been exposed to. So he already told me, so when I'm done, I'm going to give it to him to read.
Are you now sure of your life? Is your life more purposeful now? Are you now more certain about moving forward than the last 30 years of your life?
Certain and beautiful, sir. Very, very certain. So, very certain. Very certain.
Bidemi, you are a young man, and now you have the power, you have the knowledge, you have the wisdom, and you have the insight, you have the revelation, you have the kingdom behind you. Congratulations, and thank you for coming on Kingdom Fruits today.
Thank you so much, sir.
All right, greet your wife for me. Blessings. Bye.
Hello, everyone. David is saying, ha ha ha. David again, newlywed wife is shy, sir. I think David knows them. Ronke says, impressive. Yes, indeed. Monica says, that's so lovely. It's really good for any man or woman that wants to get married to listen seriously to DSA's messages on women's series and differences between a man and a woman, and also what love means to a woman and what love means to a man. Thank you, Monique. Paul says, if the family is stable, the economy will be stable. I think that was a quote from Abidemi. Thank you, Paul. Paul again saying DSA is deep, and also saying that brilliant. Congratulations. Again, Paul. Lisa saying congratulations to you, Bidemi. Monica says again, congratulations to you, King Oluwatoyin, on your achievements. God bless you. Then we have Mrs. Sharonke saying blessings. Nick is saying, Dr. Sunday, are you saying people should not fellowship? Don't you think that if we are to make impact, we must interact with people? Because most of these are family members who we need to touch with your truth. That's Nick. Yes, Nick. Dr. Sunday is, well, fellowshipping is not going to church. So I don't know. I know you didn't mention church, but Dr. Sunday didn't say that we shouldn't fellowship. And if you've seen or heard any of Dr. Sunday's messages, there are lots of messages about this topic. And you can go on YouTube, Sunday Adelaja Official, to check out the playlist. There's lots of messages about this. So fellowshipping is not within the four walls. I think somebody wrote that earlier. So it's not about church or going into a building to fellowship. You have neighbors, you have colleagues at work. So DSA is not saying that at all.
And church too could be included.
Yes, and he's saying that church also could be included, but it has to be purposeful. And then we have Ronke saying amen. Vivian said, if you want change, you have to go after it. Thank you, Vivian. That's absolutely true. Pat says, I stopped going to church because I believe what they're doing for church is wickedness. Yes, Pat. I agree with you. Arith is saying that she is actually he, Arith, is saying the truth. Yes, that Abidemi is saying the truth. Thank you very much. Then we have Nick says, I think we must not only think the problem are in Nigeria. No, I don't think Dr. Sunday is saying that, Nick, or anyone else said the problem is in Nigeria. But I think Dr. Sunday have already explained this. He is Nigerian. We have a lot of churches in Nigeria, and even Nigerian churches that are abroad or in diaspora are also taking the same practices to wherever they are. So I think that's why we mention Nigeria a lot. And Nigeria is Dr. Sunday's next focus right now and next destination. So you can forgive us for mentioning Nigeria. If it applies to you where you are, then go ahead and use the application. Then we have Pastor Uche saying, thank you so much, DSA, for your patience with the network. Thank you for your patience, you guys. Thank you very much. Mofelala says, good evening to you, Pastor, and everyone. So we have Kazim saying that I am an HND holder in mechanical engineering. However, I currently train people who have masters and PhD to the glory of God. Now I'm empowering people globally, irrespective of degree and geographical location all over the world. Well done, Kazim. That's good. Very good. Then we have Annie Chua saying, keep opening my eyes, sir. Pastor Iche says, God bless you, Toyin. Okay, beyond four walls, what's next? Okay, I think I've read all the comments. So guys, thank you very much. We appreciate you for your time. We're coming back in a few minutes, actually in 25 minutes exactly. So join us for the Plague of Silence. There's a good title today. I don't know the full title. I can check it for you. So No, yes, that's
Martin Muller.
Yes. So don't make the same mistake as Martin Muller. Martin Muller. Okay? So don't make the same mistake as Martin Muller. That's the title of today's series, The Plague of Silence. I'm really looking forward to that because I'm not exactly sure what Martin Muller did. So this is my education time, as you already know. So I hope to see you guys. That's at 9 p.m. Ukraine time. That's 7 p.m. Nigeria and UK time. So join us again. We'll see you in 25 minutes. Thank you very much. Bye.